All right. Hello, Iowa City. You're listening to KRUI. It's 89.7 FM on your radio, krui.fm to stream online. My name is Justin Comer. It's currently 3:10 p.m., and it's time for iHearIC Radio. This is a show about local music and other forms of local art and the people who make said art. Today is the 92nd episode of this radio program, and I'm dedicating it to my sister, Alyssa. Today is her 20th birthday. Pretty cool. And today I have a guest in the studio with me. I'm going to fade out the intro music here so she can speak without having to fight with it. Here she is. This is Anastasia.
Thank you, Justin.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Is this your first time on radio?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah, we have a lot of first-timers here at the college radio station. I think that's kind of what it's for.
Yes, God's work.
So you are a musician. We actually don't really know each other at all.
No,
so
first time meeting.
So I'm hoping that we can maybe get to know each other a little bit before you start just jumping in with music.
Sounds good.
Is that good with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you go by the name Warship as a performer. That's
Yes.
W-A-R-S-H-I-P.
Yes. A working title for a working group.
Okay. And where does that title come from?
Well, it's got a couple extra meanings. We used to meet up on Sundays, and I would refer to it as Sunday worship. That's kind of how we got started doing music, and kind of stuck with me.
And how long have you guys been playing together?
I've been in Iowa City for a few years now. I actually just started playing guitar about a year ago.
Oh, nice.
A year and a couple months, and that's before that I was kind of like spending a lot of time with these artists, but I couldn't really do much for myself. So since then, I think I've been a lot more involved with being able to play with other people. It's been a real treat.
Yeah, so the guitar was a good move for you.
Yeah, it took me long enough to pick it up, but better late than never, right?
Mm-hmm. So did you do anything musical before you picked up the guitar a year ago?
Yeah, I'd say I've been singing most all my life, and then I've been writing about as long as I knew how.
Okay, so you're a writer. I
am a writer, yes. I like to think of myself as a writer, and I tend to write. So, but yeah, so I didn't really have a way to like stand on my own and like bring my songs out until I picked up an instrument. I guess I just had a big fear about it from the time being up until now.
Yeah, lots of people have that same fear. What kind of stuff do you write about?
Well, I think you have to start with the self and like trying to understand that. I work some stuff out through writing that I didn't necessarily understand about myself or about my situation. And then I found myself branching out into the world and like talking to other people about their stories and like learning a lot from other people and trying to work some of that into my writing as well. And then I suppose it kind of spread out from there. And sometimes I'm a little too general, but
that's fine.
I'm always thinking of the big picture now. It kind of distracts. I'm a little myopic.
Yeah. What kind of big picture stuff do you look at?
I suppose like the expanse of my life, and you know, I found gratefulness is really good for like dark days. I look at all the moments that sort of saved me, and I like to think in some way that I can focus on celebrating that and not so much worrying about all these little anxieties that seem to kind of pile up on us. And I try to regain perspective whenever I feel like I'm sort of weighed down by all these little things that maybe won't matter.
Yeah, I think that's
in the
sounds
long
like
run.
a very healthy way to look at things.
Oh, that's what I use music for.
Yeah. I mean, you told me you have like a lot of stuff ready to play today.
I have a few songs.
So do you want to just play one now? Make sure that we don't talk for too long.
Yeah, I'll start off with one. So I still have only been playing about a year, but I wrote a song in the summer with just a few chords that I knew, and this is sort of an evolution of that song that developed over winter when I was given a capo. It sort of like changed things.
Right, yeah.
And it changed the song. So I suppose this is the winter version.
Cool.
It's about ups and downs. you went into the kitchen to fetch me coffee, and I appreciate it. Truly, I appreciate it. Why don't you keep you up all night, chain smoking on your couch and the TV light? Why remain at least 3 feet apart when I know ways to keep us both warm? Hey Charlie, you got a pretty mouth, but I've no clue as to what you're talking about. I'm not interested in an investment that's stable. I just want to get pen waffles at your kitchen table. Could you turn off the TV? 'Cause I love, and I find it hard to concentrate on all the things you may find frightening. Now I feel the pain in every part of me. Sorry. Can we get together in the springtime when I'm better? Can we get together springtime when I'm better? Listen there, where's my baby? Listen there. Hey Charlie, if the world we know is ending soon, is this a waste? Is this a waste of the afternoon? When the poles and light, you meet me on the borderline.
Very nice. That was Warship. What's that song called?
That one's called B&B.
B&B. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or Breakfast in Bed. It's got a couple secrets about it.
I need to play a public service announcement real quick, and then we can talk a little bit about your song.
Thanks.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back. This is iHearIC Radio here on KRUI. If you're just tuning in, I'm sitting here today with Anastasia. She goes by the stage name Warship. She and a group of people who are not present currently, but...
Yes, and I would like to take the time to thank all of those people.
Yeah.
I have too many to thank. I can't start listing names, but I love you guys.
You can if you want.
You've done so much for me. There's just so many. Call me, text me. I will give you a customized thank you. I've no doubt expressed my gratefulness, but just know that I'm here for you and I love you.
Yes.
Thanks for everyone listening. Hi, Mom. Hi to the cats at home.
Hi to all of them from me as well.
Yes. Thank you, Justin, for having me.
So we just heard you play B&B.
Yeah.
Which is bed and breakfast is usually what that stands for. I confess I don't retain lyrics well when I first hear a song. This came up last week too. So what can you tell me about the lyrical content of the song you just played?
Well, I would say that it has a couple meanings. I like metaphors. That's always involved.
That tends to be a thing with writers. They like metaphorical things.
There's a little bit of, the song is about manic depression. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of idealization, and then this sort of like inevitable building of expectations that sort of are left unfulfilled. So it's about that, among other things.
Okay. Is this a personal subject for you, manic depression?
I suppose actually that's probably one of the most personal of my songs. I don't know. I relate a little bit to the public, but that one's pretty personal to me, mm-hmm. Which is not necessarily typical. Like everything's a little bit personal, but
this one's less.
It's usually
removed.
like the you, and this one's like the I.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Did you say you relate a little bit to the public?
Yeah.
Is that the name of a song, or is that a statement?
No. It just I'm not totally talking to myself, but
got it.
It is about myself more than anything.
Mm-hmm. But it's a little bit less personal with you.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah. Like sometimes I feel like I can be a bit preachy, which is part of the title, but I don't mean to rid myself of any blame. I try and address hypocrisy a lot, and our obligation to our own vessel. But I do find myself pointing at other things that I feel like I have a sort of step back from understanding. With me, it's probably much harder to have that kind of reflection. Mm-hmm. That song was, in the depths of winter. It was written out of a little bit more desperation, where I was forced to sort of look at myself.
Okay.
And that doesn't always happen. Sometimes I can breeze through it without thinking as much about that. But then I suppose that song has a little more depth because of that.
Mm-hmm. And musically, before you played it, you talked about knowing 3 chords. I think I saw you play 4 chords.
It was 4.
Okay,
yeah. It started with about 4, yeah. Mm-hmm. So at Campfire when I wrote the original version of that song.
I see. I think I saw you play G, D, A minor, and C.
That's
right?
the one.
Awesome. Got it.
That's the standard pop song.
And you had a capo on 2, so 1 step up.
Yes.
All right.
I'm learning little bits at a time, baby steps.
Right. And before you were playing guitar, were you writing things that you considered songs, or was it just poetry at that point?
Yeah,
or?
I definitely came up with some melodies. I actually lived with my grandparents for some time of my life, and she had a piano that eventually became mine. That I did dabble with. I didn't know any chords, and I never took the initiative to look it up because I just never saw myself playing an instrument. I just thought I would leave that to the instrumentalist and blah blah blah. But I couldn't really, present my songs as music without making some kind of sound other than my voice. And then I had some cheap software at home, so I started experimenting with recording and just not much on the piano, but just making up for it with reverb and effects and delays and trying to create some sort of sound around my voice. Yeah. And came up with a lot of really strange pieces that are lost really in the depths of my computer that are just weird.
I'd be interested. I understand if you don't want to share, but I'd be interested.
I don't even know if I could pull that up right now. I should have prepared to bring you something pretty obscure, but yeah, it was really fun. I mean to get back into editing. My computer is kind of broken right now. Yeah. So,
yeah, that's cool. You were actually writing stuff and making things happen, just editing on your computer, despite not.
Yeah, really, and then it turns out I was just playing obviously everything in C because I was just using the white keys, but I was playing actual chords. Yeah. And then I noticed I was always going back to the C and the F and the A and the G, obviously because it was in C, and so a lot of my earlier songs were in that key, and then I started to sort of learn what chords, and then just by sound kind of trying to transfer some of those things to my guitar. Mm-hmm. And so I came up with some old ones, but on the guitar.
Yeah. You want to play another song?
Sure. Speaking of the piano,
Yeah.
I have one that's pretty old. I think I wrote it in like 2010 or 11. So it's pretty
So this is
cheesy.
one of those that you originally wrote.
On the piano, yeah. It's also typically a love song,
Oh, cool.
which I don't typically write, but we're on that page now, so.
That's fine. It's a common theme. People are familiar with it usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit about idealization.
And you switched guitars, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So
I noticed that you brought two.
I just
so-
bought the Ibanez. It's a thin body classical, and I just got it a couple days ago. This one is a little Martino I got from the Brothers Lau, and it's a nice little jam bit. So
Yeah, it's a little
easy to
shorter,
reach.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a half size. It's
Nice.
a mini. It's a little Martin. This song's called Quixote.
Quixote.
Free like water when he moves, gravity is divine. The night you were walking out, you were sweeping yet on a boy. You're walking now in my head. Now you're walking in my head. You're still walking in my head, but no, I am not the one to go begging. Please, I'll leave you to babble to the girl who beats queen. You least expected, you least expected me to be. A fool like Quixote, the fool was devoured deadly ease. Fractured walls fall down, spreading waves from the dead. When he moves, gravity is divine. The night you were walking out, you were sweeping yet on a boat, and you're walking now in my head. Now you're walking in my head. You're still walking in my head, but no, I am not the one to go begging. Please, please don't wake me. Please don't wake me. Please don't wake me. No, don't wake me. Please don't wake me. Please don't wake me. No, don't wake me. Please don't wake me. Please don't wake me. The night you were walking out, you were sweeping yet on a boat, and you're walking now in my head. But I'm not the one who would go begging.
That was Quixote by Warship.
Thank you.
Got Anastasia here in front of me. Quixote, right? That's the name of that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure what it means.
Oh, okay.
But if you've heard of the book, it's a bit of an allusion to that.
I don't know if I have.
Oh,
What book is
greatest
that?
novel of all time.
Maybe I'm just
Cervantes.
extremely ignorant.
Yeah, no, that's a very,
okay.
that's a big one.
Don Quixote. Duh,
yes,
obviously.
Yes. That's
I was thinking, I don't know, I was spelling it different in my head.
Yeah.
I need to do a weather report real quick.
All right.
I don't know if you would be up for this.
Gather all the news you need on the weather report.
Yeah. Would you mind playing guitar a little bit under me while I'm doing a weather report?
Oh.
It tends to add a little something to it.
I'll just do what I was doing.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
All right, folks. It's about 3:30 on a Sunday. It's mostly cloudy right now. We've got 49 degrees Fahrenheit, but due to wind and other circumstances, it feels like 44 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got 0% chance of precipitation right now, but 51% humidity and 16 mile per hour winds coming from the west-northwest. It's a little cold, a little windy out there, so if you're going outside, make sure you wear a coat, make sure you cover up a little bit, and if you would like to verify these weather facts for yourself, I'd recommend weather.com. This has been the weather report for iHearIC Radio today, October 13th, 2019. That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Usually, yeah,
Sunday worship.
when I have somebody with an instrument in here, I try to get them to do that. It's a little silly that I have to do a weather report, so I want to spice it up a little bit, So, Quixote. All right. Now that I understand you were saying Quixote, and now I understand the song a little bit better, I think. I thought maybe briefly in that song you were singing in French, but maybe it was Spanish. That would make more sense.
No, it's just this line of poetry from Arthur Rimbaud.
Okay. What is that?
And I bathed in the poem. It's from I don't know the French translation, but it's The Drunken Boat.
Okay.
I got a little bit into that when I was in college. I was doing a lot of reading.
That's what that's what you're supposed to do in college.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because I was supposed to. I got just a little bit of it done.
Right.
Only because I was supposed to.
Yeah. So what is that song about, sort of generally? You said it was a love song already, so.
Yeah, it's a little bit about idealization and sort of pursuing things from a distance without actually allowing them to become a reality, because the fantasy is preferred to any potential fallout.
Yeah. That's a real situation.
It was a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a personal song? Is this something
This as well, yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to break the ice with myself.
Right. Is this a situation you found yourself in just once, or is this like a recurring event?
Yeah, it's similar to the former song that I did. I try and take as much dissonance as I can in creating a song, sometimes to like understand these behaviors that I keep cycling through. And then if I create some piece of art, I can like look at it from a different angle.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
have a little more objectivity and try and understand like why I act this way or do these things or like get caught up in these patterns. Gives me a little bit of insight.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you
and I feel better about it, understanding it.
Yeah, you kind of, I guess, funnel these, how you feel about something that's happening into a piece of art, which you can then remove from yourself and observe from outside. Yeah, that's cool. Is that something that you just sort of figured out how to do on your own? Or did it happen by accident? Or how does this happen?
Happy accidents, lots of happy accidents. I would say that I figured out a lot of things on my own, but it was really just me questioning on my own and then sort of going out and looking for things to be like explained to me by whatever. So the spirit of inquiry sort of like guided me to find these things. It's not like I found them on my own, but I sought them on my own.
Right.
And they seemed to be presented to me, or I was met halfway or something with whatever knowledge I was seeking. And I'm still doing it, but I found a lot of strangers to be very helpful and throughout my life.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did they remain strangers after they were helpful to you, or?
Quite often.
Yeah?
And then, just obviously friends and family have helped me so much. Like, So I wouldn't say I did too much on my own, but I'm used to spending time alone in my own head, I suppose, and working this out on my own a lot.
You initiated the exploration on your own.
Yeah. I was always curious.
I'm curious, when you bring up how strangers helped you, I don't want you to share anything you're not comfortable with, but how did that happen?
Just like so many times. I don't know. I found myself in predicaments, whether I was like, I don't know, too brave or too stupid, and just in a lot of situations. I can think of one in particular, actually, where a stranger helped me.
Yeah.
To make it a shorter story, I don't know how much time we have to kill. I was driving my mom's Mustang. She'd gone through a divorce.
Mom has a Mustang. Wow.
Yeah, 2001 cherry red Mustang.
Nice.
To celebrate. And I, of course, was off-roading all the time for some reason in a rear-wheel drive Mustang during the muddy season.
Yeah. Was this here in Iowa or
in my cool small town? Watch here.
Oh yeah. That's a great place to off-road.
Yeah.
I ruined a car there.
Yeah, we have a family farm out there. But I was on this gravel road close to the farm, actually. I got it stuck. I got it stuck in the mud, and the wheels were in deep, the rear wheels, and they were just spinning. And we were by a farm. I sensed some relief, thinking I could knock on a door and get like a ride or a phone and call my mom. I was with my friend Chelsea. So he came out, and I asked him for help, and I was thinking he'd offer me his phone or something. But he walked around the car, and he gave it a good look, and then he told me to get back in the car and in the driver's seat, and I did, and he told me to put it in drive and give the wheels give the gas a little push. And so I did that, and it went up, and then it like sunk back down. Right. And I was just like, obviously, like I've tried that. And then he's like, well, try put it in reverse for a second. Put it in reverse and give it a little gas. And so I did that, and it bounced up, and then it fell back down the hole. And I was just like, this is stupid, because I was a bully teenager. And he's very persistent. He's like, now put it in drive. He's like, give it a little gas. And I started to get pretty tired and annoyed at this point. But I did it. And then he said to turn the wheel just a little bit to the right. And I did that. And then he told me to put it back in reverse, and so on and so forth. Right. I started to get frustrated until I realized that I should be doing this like a little bit faster. So I went back and forth and like drive and like turning the wheel like he told me, and then reverse, and then turning it back the other way. And I kept doing it, and I started to feel like a little bit of this leeway, and then it finally just gave, and I drove out. Yeah. And I've used that trick at least like 3 times in my life, where I've been stuck, and I remember when he taught me. Yeah, because I'm reckless a little bit sometimes. I was driving a big Chevy truck for a while, and my rear wheel got stuck in a fresh bed of pebbles. I'm not totally at fault for it, but I got out. Yeah. So it stuck. That's happened a lot to me in my life, I feel like, because if I was frustrated at first, and I wasn't like really, I was just like, oh, I want a phone or a ride, and I was like being a brat, and I wasn't thinking about the fact that this man was telling me how to get out of the mess that I got myself into on my own, but not on my own, you know?
Right.
Things like that stick.
Yeah. You want to play another one?
Yeah. I'm thinking, I don't know, can I do like a cover, or should I just...
Yeah, you can do a cover if you want. What's it a cover of?
Well, it's not quite a cover. I don't know if I should. It is a cover. It's a little different. It's a rendition of a cover. It's a Nina Simone song, actually.
Okay, nice.
I didn't feel like it was necessarily like my song to sing, but at the same time, I still feel really connected. So I kind of was like playing on the piano, and I kind of just started doing a version of it. Yeah,
cool. Before you start, do you mind if I take a picture of you while you're playing it?
Oh.
Is that going to throw you off? Well, I won't do it if you don't want me to.
I don't typically allow too many photos, and my friends can testify for that.
Okay, yeah, I won't do it if you don't want me to. It's fine.
I didn't exactly dress up. I was going for comfort, I'm on the radio.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
You could sneak a shot. But
okay, I'll just do one, and
just for you.
I'll try to do it so you don't notice. Okay.
Yeah. Well, my glasses are off right now, so I'm pretty blind. Actually. All right, this one's called Got No. Ain't got no home, ain't got no shoes, ain't got no money, ain't got no clothes, ain't got no skirts, ain't got no sweaters, ain't got no perfume, ain't got no love, ain't got no clergyman, ain't got no big mouth, ain't got no gun, ain't got no code, ain't got no mission, ain't got no man, ain't got no baby, ain't got no air, ain't got no mission, mission, mission. Ain't got no water, ain't got no love, ain't got no faith, ain't got no God. And what have I got? Why am I alive anyway? And what have I got? They can't take away. Got my hair, got my head, got my brains, got my head, got my eyes, got my nose, got my mouth, I got myself, got my arms, got my legs, got my fingers, got my veins, got my feet, got my toes, got my liver, got my blood. I've got a life, I've got a lot. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free.
Nice. That was a cover of Nina Simone's. Is it Ain't Got No? Is that the title of it?
Ain't Got No.
Yeah. And that was Warship. I've got Anastasia here in the studio with me. So that song is kind of, I mean, the lyrics are kind of in line with what you were talking about earlier, where it's like, you know, there's a bunch of like negative things, like I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this.
Right.
But then at the end, it's like, you know, here's what I do have. This is actually like, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what you were talking about earlier, right? You know,
yeah,
not
I think
focusing
about
too
that
much
song
on
a lot
yeah.
because it makes me think of everyone who has so much less than me, and
Right.
people have more than me in ways we don't always understand. I can like moan about a lot of like scenarios, but I find gratefulness is always the key to like lift me out of whatever slump I've gone into.
Yeah.
And I think that song's about gratefulness and resilience.
I would agree. Yeah. So now that you've played a song by someone else, I'm curious, what do you listen to? Like, what kind of music interests you?
I like KRUI because they got a lot of very different things going on here. I listen to classical almost 24/7. My radio's on classical.
Nice. Do you have any favorites?
That's nice. I mean,
or is it just sort of something that's on?
yeah, I love Tchaikovsky. It's kind of eerie. I love that about it. It's dark. But I know everybody says this, but I love all kinds of music. I'm pickier within certain genres, but I find myself enjoying like a multitude of different, and just like really experience what I'm exposed to and like whatever that happens to be. I don't have a lot of knowledge of like contemporary music. I grew up on radio, so I don't have like a lot of Spotify or anything like that. And I just kind of heard whatever they played.
You're just kind of open to
I like branching out.
whatever
I like
reaches
hearing
you.
Strange things. Yeah.
Yeah. Listening to KRUI is a good bet if you just want to hear something you've never heard before.
Absolutely. There's a lot of fun stuff going on.
I need to play a Grant spot real quick. So very briefly, we're going to hear a little bit of information about Little Village. Okay, so we'll be back in just a minute.
Support for KRUI is provided by Little Village. Little Village is Iowa City's independent, community-supported news and culture publication. Little Village's event calendar connects readers with critical cultural opportunities. Through journalism, essays, and events, Little Village works to improve our community according to core values: affordability and access, economic and labor justice, environmental sustainability, racial justice, gender equity, quality healthcare, quality education, and critical culture. Little Village can be found in print editions at local businesses in Iowa City, as well as online at littlevillagemag.com.
That's right, everyone's favorite local magazine, Little Village. If you're just tuning in, this is iHearIC Radio here on KRUI. I am Justin. I am joined today by Anastasia. She's a local writer, musician. She goes by the name Warship in performance settings. And speaking of, have you played live very much?
I've played a few times with some really amazing people. Tim Candy, we used to play at Gabe's when the open mic. Electric Eileen is always, she knows a lot of my songs. She gets on a lot of my songs. We sing a lot together. Mm-hmm. Devin and Eileen are, hi mom and dad, shout out to them. Devin, very talented musician. The three of us play together as the Folk Yaz. We've done the Mill open mic a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, I just recently with John Lewis and Doc Miller, we played with Eileen at the Mill. Did open mic. We did a lot of open mics there, but we're just getting started. We actually are playing in December.
Yes, we are. Or you are.
Yeah.
I say we because I'll be there, but yeah,
I'll be there.
If you are not aware, there's an iHearIC concert series every month, and Warship will be on the December one, right? That's the one I booked you for, right?
Yes, December 13th.
It's the 13th? Yeah. Good. You remember, which is good.
We'll
and I'll give you some more information about the other shows at the end of the radio show, so keep an ear out for that. But until then, do you have more songs to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a couple. I think I'm gonna do Gladiator now.
Gladiator.
Yeah,
okay.
This is kind of a longer song.
That's cool.
I tried to get it down, it didn't work.
I like long songs.
All right. So this song is very obviously about a bird being trapped in an all-glass cafeteria at work.
Okay. This is based on a real event.
It is based on a true story that had me so shaken up. I had to run away crying. And I immediately started to write this song.
Wow, okay.
And I spent about a week of passionate ringing into it, and this is what came out. It grew a little bit. It's about more than a bird now.
Yeah.
This one's called Gladiator. It goes out to Dad, who usually is on it with me. Glass is cold, you know the windows closed, don't you? But little lost spell, what do they know? We can't even be bothered to open the door for you. It's I, little darling who cries, trapped in the maze, not begging to lose touch, leaving my lunch untouched, I'll answer, prepared to defend you. Are you the last of your kind, or are you the first sign? How long do us humans have until the end of time as we know it? Are you mine? Now it's I who am trapped and stunned in a glass cafeteria. Now I'm the one who's lived this long and walked among the dinosaurs does not even possess the capacity to fly out an open door. Heart beating, eyes blinking, brain thinking, lungs screeching out, blood running. So why am I the one running, crucified for your transgressions? Why am I the one in question? No obstruction will hold the flood. Now it's I who am trapped and stunned in a glass cafeteria. Now I'm the one trapped and stunned in a glass cafeteria. Despair of life. Now I'm still stuck in this simulation, having to walk these hallways so strange. So long as I'm glued to the tube, my feet tied up into the matrix. I'm developed just enough these thumbs to decide whether you live or die. And when I saw the world that broke your flights, I lost my appetite and I tried emergency exit only signs, and this applied. And I don't know what you've seen, but I'm here now because I heard you crying out, and I would open the door for you. 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 But I don't make the rules. And who would we be without our air conditioning? And how have we fallen so far from our graces that we can no longer recognize our own relation? No obstruction will hold the flood. Now it's us who are trapped and stunned in a glass cafeteria. Now we're the ones strapped down and drugged in this sanitarium. Now I'm the one sedated, mutilated in a cage, in a stadium. Gladiator, a gladiator in a stadium. Now I'm the one gunned down, confined, who's denied. I want you to fly the sparrow. Fight on, gladiator. Fight on, gladiator. Fight on, gladiator. Gladiator, fight on, fly on. The sparrow.
That was Gladiator by Warship. Yeah, you got a lot out of that bird, huh?
Yeah, they don't have a lot of meat on them, but
There was a whole like little bit in there where you're talking about the Matrix and stuff.
yeah.
How did you connect the two in your mind?
Well, it was an office job. I just made the coffee, which was nice because I gotta do a lot of walking around and get my miles in and think. I could just think and walk, and there were a lot of sunlit windows, so I spent a lot of time thinking. And I couldn't stop thinking about the bird being ignored and whatnot. And I just sort of had a battle with one of the suits there about leaving the door open.
Yeah, so all of that you said in the song, that was real. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just sort of made me think of a lot of other things involved with that. Apathy. It made me think a lot about, like wildlife and civilization, like meeting each other and not really knowing what to do, all that conflict. And it made me think of the big picture and, depleting resources and a sort of crisis of that's building, and wondering what we would take on, the weight that we would take on for our neighbors, or when it comes to it, like, would we step up and open the door? Are we doing that now?
Great question. And in this situation, there was a bird trapped in the building, and you just wanted to open a door so it could leave.
Yes.
Right?
It seems
It's
simple.
a pretty simple action.
It seems simple.
But somebody told you you could not do
we
that.
can't have wild, mangy birds flying around the office and,
Well, you were trying to alleviate that issue.
Right, but
I guess he was worried that more birds would come in.
what happened was it was an emergency exit only sign, and it was a little cold, and we couldn't just leave the door open to let the air in because our conditioned air was needed protected, and they called upon a 40-foot net because they thought that was a better idea. I still remember the look of defeat in the guy's face when he came back holding the net, so angry because he couldn't catch it, and nobody knew what happened to the bird.
Yeah. How tall was this building?
It's pretty tall. It's a really big cafeteria.
So the net was like 40 feet long?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. They thought that was a better
That
idea.
seems a little unwieldy. I don't know.
But then the bird disappeared, and nobody knew what happened to the bird. And then, like 2 weeks later, after I'd written the song, there was another bird in the building. It happens a lot.
And it was a different bird?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was probably a different bird, yeah. And I just remember it looked at me, and it was like, and it just like, I was like, what are you doing in here? It just ducked behind a table. I spent like 30 minutes trying to find it, couldn't. I came back later, and through a long process with someone else involved, we got it outside. And I felt better about that whole situation. Mm-hmm. It was my redemption bird.
Right. This one you helped to freedom.
Yeah, there's just a lot of glass, and I think it, I thought it could fly through, and it hit and got startled. And,
yeah. That's rough to witness, actually.
Yeah, it affected me.
Yeah. How did you get this one out? I'm just curious.
Well, there was someone else kind of frantically trying to catch, they felt really bad because they were a little rough with it, but they were like trying to catch it against the wall with a coat, and I was like, that's not how you do it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I've encountered a lot of bats and birds in my day, wild creatures, not where they belong. But they're running out of room where they belong, aren't they? So eventually it was so startled, it was hiding in a corner, and I just sort of like threw my coat over it and scooped it up very gently in the coat.
Nice.
This is what you want to do with bats if you ever get a bat in your house. Just throw a towel over them gently.
Okay, yeah. When my parents moved into a new house, like 7 years ago, there was a bat in there, and we freaked out. Yeah.
They're so cute, though.
We got it. It was like in this sort of air vent. It was inside of it, and we managed to get it to come out like into a Tupperware bin.
Oh, wow.
And then we let it out in the woods.
There you go.
Yeah, that was an experience. It's the top of the hour, so I'm just going to remind the listeners, you're listening to KRUI in Iowa City, 89.7 FM, KRUI.FM. This show is iHearIC Radio. I'm Justin. It's a show about local music, and today I'm speaking with Anastasia, who is a local musician and writer who is part of a sort of loose group called Warship, but you're also Warship when you're alone, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's a working title, so you can kind of use it however you want.
Whoever wants to meet me on Sunday for worship. I forgot Michael. He plays the drums.
Yeah.
He's getting on it too. Yeah.
Shout out to Michael.
I got a lot of good people playing with me right now.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
And you have one more song?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear one more.
Okay. This is a continuation of that other song.
A continuation of Gladiator?
No, the first song I did actually.
Okay.
It starts with a G. It's not the G.
The capo's back. Yeah.
It's like a D. Something. You find me waiting if you ever so patiently. Newsman, Candyman, quick change at the cash stand. Stains escape, desensitized eyes, sweeping pennies into a dustbin. Cop it on, keep the lights on, no conduction, we won't go. Give us with this grappling hour, grand distraction, what kind of hell could you fathom? From cavities to captives, capillaries, floating on our castle in the air. Flesh, the burst of bone and blood, comes with fever we can burst. America, you taught me how to stand out. The world is looking west, we'll be where the sun sets. Got a candy lungs, got a bulletproof vest. In a drama, easy to digest. Can I offer absurd sustenance to say the truth hurts, but it's true nonetheless. America, you taught me how to stand out. Miracle. Thundercloud, you taught me how to speak out. Emergency. You taught me, will we be? Emergency.
What was the name of that one?
Emergency.
Emergency. Got it. And that was a continuation of the first song you played on today's show.
It's actually the song that never ends.
Yeah. What was that first one called again?
B&B.
B&B, Emergency. It kind of has a nice little rhyme to it. That's nice. Do you have additional continuations of that song?
Yeah, it just like all goes.
Just keep playing those chords.
The world we know is ending soon.
Nice.
Is this a waste? Is this a waste of the afternoon?
Yeah, you can just keep going.
Forever.
So we need to get going pretty soon here. Do you have anything coming up or any sort of like websites or anything you want people to know about?
I think I'm gonna try and work on some recording here in the near future.
Great.
And I'm trying to play wherever I can play with some really incredible musicians that have taken the time to learn some of my songs.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere specific that people could
as well.
See you play?
Well, I play at the Mill a lot.
Yeah.
You should check out open mics there all the time. Support your
Monday
local
nights.
musicians. Yeah. A lot of good friends of mine play there quite often. Anywhere that they have open mics, I try and pop out. And we will be at the show at Trumpet Blossom in December. So that's like the main thing, the next big thing that I'm prepping for.
Okay, great. Yeah. Do you want people to know about your Facebook page for the band?
I do have a Facebook page. Yeah.
Yeah. The
There's
URL
not a lot on
is
there right now. We're working on it.
Yeah. The URL is facebook.com/87blues.
87 Blues.
Yeah. The numerals 87. Where does that name come from? If you don't mind me asking. No, it's a secret, huh? Okay. Anything else you want to get out there before I do my spiel here?
Just thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone listening.
Free world.
If you are looking for stuff to do this week, there's a show at Gabe's on Friday night, the 18th at 9 p.m., featuring the bands Still Shine, Twisted Roots, and Rubber. Two of those bands I know very well. I've been on this show before. And, before that, on Thursday, on the 17th, I am going to be playing at Yacht Club. I was opening for somebody, but she had to cancel, so I may be finding a replacement, and I may not. Either way, I'll be playing. So if you want to hear me play some saxophone, you can do so at the Yacht Club, Thursday night, the 17th at 9 p.m. And then next week, the 25th, we're having an iHearIC show at Trumpet Blossom, or maybe that's 2 weeks from now. No, that's next Friday, right?
I don't do recreational math.
I'm not good at this. Yeah, we'll have a show at the Trumpet Blossom next Friday, the 25th, featuring performances by Jake Jacobs, who you can hear on this very radio station on Friday nights, Joe Sorensen, and the Christine Burke Ensemble. And this is usually a local thing, but we're bringing in a group from Kansas City called Project C4 that I'm pretty excited about. And then just a few days after that, on the 29th, I'll be playing again at Yacht Club. This show starts at 8 p.m., and it will feature performances by me and Gabby Vanek as our saxophone bassoon duo, Drop Bear, and also The Only Ion and Hobby Horse will be playing that show. That'll be fun. And then looking farther ahead at the future, we're going to have iHearIC shows at The Mill on November 21st, featuring performances by Sneezy Dollars, Everyday People Say What, Invoce, and Fever Love. I'm not totally sure if I'm saying Invoce right, but I don't know. And then in December, which we've mentioned several times, on December 13th, we'll be having a show at Trumpet Blossom featuring performances by Warship, who you heard all day today, and also Thieves, who you heard for an hour last week. And I'll announce the rest of the lineup at some point between now and then. I'll be back here in the studio next Sunday, the 20th at 3 p.m. That'll be the 2-year anniversary of this radio show.
Congratulations.
So we'll be celebrating. Thank you.
Good work here.
And the plan is to have my old friend Duroje Gwamna join me like he did last year. So we'll have a good time together. And if you like what you heard today, you can find more of it. The best way to do so is our website, iHearIC.com. There you'll find links to all of the social media pages, all of the podcast platforms, because every previous episode of this show is available online. Today was the 92nd, so there's quite a bit of a back catalog there for you if you're interested. And if you need to get in touch with me for any reason at all, if you have music you'd like to share, if you have events coming up you want me to know about, if you just want to say hi, the best way to do so is via email, ihearic@gmail.com. And with that, I'm ready to go. You have anything else that you need to get out there before I shut the mics off?
That's too much pressure. No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you again. Yeah, I think we had a good time. It was nice getting to know you a little bit and hear some of your songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to close out with some music. I got it from Bandcamp. If you look at the Iowa City tag, you can see everything that's been released recently. This is by somebody named 256 Color, and it's off of an album they released last week or earlier this month called Rip Graphics. And this track is called Hotline Server. So if you enjoy it, you can find it on Bandcamp, vga256.bandcamp.com. And with that, I'm going to shut the mics off. Thank you all for listening. Have a good week. See you later. Bye.
tortoise lays on its back, its belly baking in the hot sun, beating its legs, trying to turn itself over, but it can't. Not without your help. But you're not helping.
What do you mean I'm not helping?
I mean you're not helping. Why is that, Leon?
89.7 KRUI.
KRUI, Iowa City.